Yo, what's up? It's good to be back. I've been off of here for a few days because I was traveling. I was on vacation, enjoying my life, which you have to do every so often, right? Especially if you are an entrepreneur and you work 24 hours a day, including holidays and weekends, right? You know how it goes if you're an entrepreneur. You constantly working. But it's a labor of love because it's the passion that you get to do, and it's the love of your life. So I am not complaining at all. So for those of y'all that don't know me, welcome to my world. My name is Latasha LT Jimerson. I'm an author, teacher, book coach, and book promoter and motivational speaker. And I just want to say hello. I hope that you are doing something amazing today. I hope you're having fun with your family. I hope that you are practicing self-care. I know I am. I have a message for you today, and it's how my book sold out. Like literally just this morning, my most popular book sold out. And so I'm in a little bit of a dilemma right now because people want my book and it's in demand. So if you have a recommendation, a suggestion on how I should solve this dilemma, please email me at contacts@latashajimersonlibrary.com. Because this has never happened to me before. I'll be honest with you. This is a new one. And so I'm brainstorming. And so I love getting ideas from other beautiful, amazing brains. So pour it on me. Email me and let me know what you think. My email is scrolling down here at the bottom. So take a picture of it or write it down or whatever. Just go ahead and email me while you're watching this because I really want to hear what you have to say about this. But anyway, let me tell you the whole story. And let me get some comments going on in here. Who is up in here? It doesn't tell me who's in here, but I see people are watching. So welcome. Thank you. If you're watching this live, thank you so much for being live with me. I appreciate you. If you're watching this on the replay, please put #replay because I always love to have conversations with you after the fact. I know that this video is going to live forever and it's going to be all over the place. Right now, I am streaming on 6 different platforms. So I am on my regular Facebook page. Welcome, Facebook. What's up? I'm inside of both of my Facebook groups. Hey, club members. Thank you for being up in there. Love you. I'm also on LinkedIn. Hey, LinkedIn family. And I am on YouTube and Twitter X. So if you're on my YouTube family, thank you, YouTube. Hi, YouTube. If you're on Twitter, thank you, Twitter X. Love you, love you. Quick little story about me, just so you know who I am. If this is the first time you've ever heard my voice or seen my face, welcome to my world. My clients call me Coach LT. My name is Latasha. I have been publishing books since 2017. I have been coaching authors to write their books since 2018. I've been creating online courses since 2020. And I've been having a good freaking time with reading since I was about 3 years old. So I just put out a message on Facebook today, and I said, or yesterday, I said, hey, who taught you how to read? And one person was like, most people won't remember that. And I'm like, I beg to differ. Hello. I remember learning how to read in Head Start. Like, I've always been in school. My mom always made me go to school, me and my sister and my brother. I'm the oldest of 3. And so my mom was like, as soon as we popped out of the womb, she started putting on educational materials, started reading to us, and then sending us to school like immediately. Like I can remember being in school at 3 years old and sitting on the carpet like this and listening to the teacher. Okay, story time, boys and girls. That was my favorite time of the day. I don't know about you. I don't know about you, your friends or your mama, but I know for me, my best time of the day was sitting on the carpet with my legs crisscross applesauce and my face like this, listening to what the teacher had to say from what she was reading in the book. And yeah, most of my teachers were female and most of my teachers loved reading books. And so for me, man, when I grew up, I just had a love of reading. And that's what inspired me to become a teacher. And then it inspired me to become an author. And then my clients actually inspired me to become a coach. I never dreamed that I would become a coach. I didn't even know what being a coach was until I started actually doing it. And so my life has been a freaking roller coaster. It's been a joyride. It's been rocky road. It's been cookies and cream. It's been pistachio, vanilla, chocolate. It's been all kinds of different things. Birthday cake. I've lived a full, wonderful, amazing life. And I'm only 48 and feeling great, and plan on keeping it that way. And so just a little bit about me. I started writing. So that's my reading story, right? Like I was reading when I was like 3 or 4 because I was listening. I was paying very close attention to what my teachers were saying. And then I was gobbling up the books because they would give us books to open and to look at the pictures and to talk about and share. And they would show the pictures, right? So then we would be curious and we would want to see the pictures and hold the book. And so I remember when I was very little, holding a book and like even smelling it. Like I've always been a weirdo. I love to smell. I smell my food. I smell my clothes. I smell everything. So I remember smelling the book and just being so excited because it's just a little funky book, right? Like it smelled like dust or old paper or something. But I remember loving books since I was 3 years old. So reading has always been my thing. And I started wearing glasses at 8 years old. And so I remember going to the eye doctor, getting the glasses because I could no longer see. The teacher had to start putting me in the front of the class. My mom was like, "What's going on with her?" And she's like, "I think she needs glasses." So I got my glasses. I was 8 years old. And I remember like, whoa, like the heavens opened up to me because I could see. I was like, wow, I could see. But I also, when I looked at myself in the mirror, I was like, I look smart. I remember thinking that to myself at 8 years old, like, oh, I got these glasses. I look like a smart person. And I was so proud of myself because I got glasses, right? My first thought was I was afraid because I was like, well, what if I lose them? But I've never lost my glasses. I've never lost my glasses. I've never misplaced my glasses. I've never done anything other than maybe break one of the legs off of my glasses. I did that a couple of times, but who hasn't done that? I even had like tape right here at one point. But anyways, let me get back on target. So my book just sold out this morning. And I want to walk you through this. I want to walk you through how this happens. How does a book sell out? How does that happen? Like, this is blowing my mind. Anyways, that was reading. Okay, let me tell you about writing. I've been reading since I was 3. I've been writing since I was 12. Okay. Lots of things happened to me as a child. We went through a lot. My mom raised us as a single parent, and it was rough. We went through a lot. We were homeless multiple times. You know, she was running away from her ex, and he was a psychopath, to be quite honest. And we ended up in lots of different shelters, and we ended up in a lot of different compromising situations, a lot of financial strife, a lot of trust issues with, not being able to trust people. And life happened, and life lifed us up. And we ended up just being in a constant state of survival. You ever felt like that? Like you're just like, you go through a period of your life and it's like a long stretch where you're just in a period of survival. That's what happened to us from probably the age of when I was 8 all the way up to probably 12 years old. And that whole chunk of that 4 year period was just really stressful. And so when I got my glasses, I remember I was like, wow, now I can see. Now I look really smart. So I am going to do everything that I can to be really successful in school. Because I don't know what's going to happen out here on these streets. And I don't know what's going to happen in my house. But I can tell you, I can 100% guarantee I can be an A+ student. And I knew I was. I knew it in my heart and in my soul. But I was struggling. And when I got my glasses, I was like, yes, now I can take this, I can bump it up a notch and take it to the next level. And so when I was 12, I had this really serious English teacher who was really serious about challenging me and really serious about pushing me and guiding me and supporting me. And man, when I went to her class, I felt so stressed out. My anxiety was through the roof. I had so much anxiety, but you know what? It was also excitement because I knew she was going to call me out. And I knew she was going to call me out to my greatness because she would call us up in the front of the room and make us read our 5-paragraph essay out loud. And I was like, what? The first couple times she did it, I was a little perturbed, a little irritated, a little frustrated. But about the 5th time she did it, I was very happy because I was like, wow, she sees me. And not only did she see me, but also my social studies teacher used to call me out and ask me for my answers and my ideas. And he used to give me a lot of positive reinforcement. And so at about 12 years old, I started writing, and I wrote in my diary every night, and I wrote in class every day, and I did all my writing homework. I couldn't stand my math or science homework. So I actually did those homeworks first. And then I got into the writing and the social studies and all that stuff. And then later on, when I became a teacher, I became a history teacher first and then an English teacher second. And so now I have all that knowledge from teaching and reading and writing, and I use it all to help my authors, my clients, go through my process on becoming an author. And we do it quickly and we do it very efficiently because I've had a lot of practice. And so I want to share with you today how my book just sold out this morning. It's been a whirlwind. Okay. I will just say that it's been a whirlwind of sales and Zoom meetings and phone calls and messages on social media, and things have just really totally exploded for me. And this is just the beginning of what the rest of my life is going to look like, because I got chills. Like I got chills all on my head, all over my neck, because I don't know if y'all have ever tried to build something. I don't know if you've ever worked on something and put your whole soul into it. Type in the comments, whole soul, if you've ever done anything and put your whole soul into it. Let me know, because that's what I've been doing since 2017 with my book business. And I finally have the right logo, right? I finally have the right colors. I finally have the right team. Okay. I finally have the right clients. I'm working with the right people at the right time for the right reason and charging the right rates, right? I'm charging the right price to where I feel like I'm being compensated for the work that I do. And so my life is freaking unbelievable and it's amazing. And I am very excited to announce to y'all that my most popular book just sold out today. I literally have one copy left. And honestly, I'm not going to sell it. I just made that decision. I'm not going to sell it because it's the last one. There are no more of this book. And it's mind-boggling because how does this happen? How does this happen? I'm going to explain how this happens. And it's really unbelievable, because as I sit here in this moment and I enjoy this moment and I take it all in, I'm reminded of how I got here in this place in the first place, right? I'm reminded of the fact that I was so pregnant in 2017. I was so pregnant with my very first book, and it was a memoir. And I was afraid, I was terrified to write it. I was terrified. And the idea to write came back it was in 2005, 2006, somewhere in that era. And I say it that way because that's when I was a school teacher. I was teaching 8th grade US history in a mid-sized school district, public school district in Southern California. And I had an amazing buddy teacher who told me to write a book. And I was so confused about why she would say that to me, because I didn't see myself the way that other people saw me, right? I just saw myself as a regular old teacher going to work every day, teaching social studies. You know, it was US history at the time. And I just saw myself as a teacher in those 4 walls and as a mom. And at that time, I had 2 small children. My oldest was 5 and my youngest was 3. And I remember going to work every day and just praying to get through the day, right? Asking God for enough energy to be positive and to smile, because I wanted to show up every day with a smile. And I was like, God, if you can just help me show up to work every day with a smile and just be nice to everybody and be positive, that's really like literally all I want to do right now. And so God granted that wish and many, many more wishes. But I got through those days and it was rough, going to work every day, teaching full time, and then coming home and raising my 2 little ones, and still trying to go to church and still trying to like have a little bit of a social life, right? That was rough. And I just remember asking God, please help me through the day. And every single day, God delivered. God delivered on his promises, as he always did. And I remember when my friend said to me, you should write a book. And I was like, what? Like that, where did that come from? I just wanted to get through the day. And here she is coming in here with this PhD, you know, and all of this knowledge and wisdom and all of this optimism is what she had, and all this positivity. And she was like, yeah, you need to write a book. And I was like, why? She's like, you got some interesting ideas. You should put it in a book. And I was like, I started immediately making excuses and saying, nah, I don't have a PhD like you. No, I'm not smart like you. I don't have enough money. Like, I don't have this. I don't have that. I'm not the right color. Like all these things popped up and I was like, nah, it ain't going to happen. Nah. And you know what? I thought about that for the next 12 years until 2017. And then I said, oh my God, I should write a book. Oh my God, I've been pregnant for 12 years. Oh my God. Oh my God. What am I doing? What's going on? Right? What am I doing with my life? I need to write a book. And so if you're out there and you're like, damn, like that's me. I feel like I need to write a book. People have been they keep telling me I need to write a book and I still haven't written a book. You need to email me immediately so that we can get on a call and we can talk about it. My email is scrolling here at the bottom. You need to email me immediately so that you and I can get into each other's world and I can support you on your journey, because I didn't know what I didn't know. And I didn't know because I just didn't want to know. I was so terrified. I was so just making all these excuses. And so what I tell my clients today is stop making excuses. You have me. I didn't have me. So I didn't even have, I had God, right? So I didn't have an excuse. But guess what? I also didn't have Amazon. I didn't have, YouTube. I didn't have Google. I didn't know how to use Facebook. I was afraid of social media. I thought people were going to hack me and clone me and steal my identity. Like, trust me now, I've had people do those things, but it doesn't even matter anymore because I'm completely in alignment with my purpose and I'm completely in my body as myself and I'm completely within my skin and I don't care. Right? When you get to the point where you are doing exactly what God wants you to do, and you're moving and you're walking and you're in alignment and the opportunities that are coming before you, you are walking into them, stepping into them and saying yes. It doesn't matter because you're showing up in your full power and your full authority. And so any little thing that happens to you to block you or distract you, you just whoop, whoop, like Wonder Woman, right? You're just like, ah. It's such a phenomenal feeling when you finally say, thank you, God, I'm answering the call. I got you. I know what I'm supposed to do. I understand the assignment and I'm moving forward. Let's go. Then you start hooking up with other people who are in the same mindset, right? Like, okay, God, this is my calling. I'm walking in it. Let's go. And then you start linking arms with those people and life just becomes really juicy and spicy and amazing and delicious, right? And so I know that was a long introduction and I'm going to get into my sold out book and I'm going to talk about it in a second. But I really wanted to let you know who you're listening to and what I'm all about. I am a high school history teacher by trade. I started teaching history in 2003. I started at the middle school level and I went up to the high school level in about 2015, 2016. And then I published my memoir. And then what happened was the doors busted open so that I could help other authors on their journey to write their memoir. And so today I've written over 8 books, 2 collaborations, right, with other authors. I've written a book with 9 other public school educators. And I've written another book with 25 professional public speakers. And so I've been a part of multiple collaborations and multiple projects. And so I have a lot of knowledge on what it takes to become a successful published author. I also have a lot of knowledge on what it takes to be a successful coach. And I didn't know anything about the coaching industry at all when I started this. Literally, this is how my coaching business started. I put a post on Facebook and I said, I wrote a book, here it is, right? I started going into different Facebook groups and saying, hi, I have a book. I didn't know I was spamming people. So I was getting kicked out of groups left and right. So then I created my own group and I was like, well, I got to have a group so I can promote my book. And so I started doing that. And then people started coming to me saying, okay, that's a good book. I read it. I bought it, whatever. How did you do that? And I was like, what? What do you mean? How did you write a book? And I was like, Google? No. Like, what were your steps? And I was like, YouTube, blogs, Facebook groups, like research. Turns out not everybody wants to do 10,000 hours of research like I did. Turns out people want a quick fix, like pill in a bottle to swallow and I'm an author. Like that's what people wanted. I was like, oh my gosh. Okay. So meet me for coffee and I'll sit down and I'll tell you everything I know. Just buy me a cup of coffee. And so I did that multiple times. And then I was like, I don't really have time for this. Like I got to go to work. And so person after person after person came back to me and they were like, hey, I need to meet you for coffee again. I have the book and I signed it for you and I want you to have a copy. And I was like, huh? What? And they're like, yeah, I want you to have this book. And so I would meet with them and I would say, wow, how did you get that book done so fast? It was like 3 months. And they're like, you taught me. And I was like, what do you mean? Like we just had coffee. It was just a conversation. And they're like, no, Person after person after person was like, no, you told me what to do and I did it and I have a book. And I was like, that was me? They're like, yeah. And I was like, whoa, okay, so what is this? So then I started researching and I was like, damn, this is called coaching. And damn, there's people out here getting hundreds of thousands of dollars for this. And I was like, whoa, like I'm a hell of a freaking teacher, but I don't know, can I be a coach? And so I jumped in with both feet, and that was 2018, and I haven't stopped. And it's the love of my life. It's what I love doing well beyond anything else. I would do it all day long and twice on Sunday, even if I wasn't getting paid. But thank God I do get paid because I need the money. Everybody needs the money, right? Life ain't free. Food ain't free. Travel ain't free. And kids ain't free. So if you have been called, and this is how you know, you keep hearing it, you keep seeing it, you keep coming up against different obstacles, and you keep like feeling it, right? If you know that you have a book idea in you, you feel like you've been pregnant for 12 years, like I was, reach out to me, contact at LatashaJimerson.library.com. Contact me. You and I need to have a conversation about your book project, and I can support you. Okay. All right. So here I am. I've written 8 books. I've helped 50 authors write their own books. I've created over 25 online courses. I have hundreds of videos on YouTube. You can just go binge watch. I have 2 Facebook groups with over 700 people in those Facebook groups. And I do a writing clinic twice a month for writers who want to write, but they just can't write because they don't have time to write, or they think they don't have time to write. I created a time and a space. Every month I do 2 writing clinics, and they are free. And so if you're interested in my free writing clinics, email me and let me know you want to come to the free writing clinic, and I'll send you the link so you can get in there for free. If you want to book a call with me, let me know. I need you to coach me, LT, on the writing process. I need to get it done. Help me, please. I need to do this. This is the right move, and it's the right time for the right reason right now. If that's you, email me and we will get on a call and I will help you with your writing journey. All right, so let's talk about this book. Your First Book Workbook, Time-Saving Power Tools for Busy Writers. And that's me, Latasha Jimerson. This book is sold out. There are no more copies. That's the only copy I have left, and I'm not going to sell it. And here's why. Number one, I published that book for the very first time in 2020. And it was because people kept asking me, could you please tell me how to write a book? And so I put all my knowledge together into that book. And I actually created an online course. And that book has the curriculum to the online course. It's my baby. Like, it's not my first book. It's like my 5th book, but it's the most popular book that I have ever written, and it's my baby. And so in 2020, I started selling that book with the online course. So people who enrolled in the course, they got a copy of that book for free because they needed it as the curriculum to go through the course. And there were video modules and video tutorials, and they could go through it and interact with me and do all that cool stuff. That course is still around, but I don't even advertise it anymore because I found a better way. So what I was discovering is that people who were taking the course, they were reading the book, they were taking the course, but they were still asking me a lot of questions. They still needed a lot of help. There were areas where they would get stuck. And although there were many videos of me teaching, right, and breaking everything down, they still wanted me to walk them through their journey just with me. And so I was like, okay, why don't I just do away with this course? Because like people who were just doing the course without hiring me to coach them, they're not really finishing the course. So they got the information, they got the book, they got everything they needed, all the tools, but they needed someone to help them build the book. And they needed someone to help them overcome the writer's block and overcome the fear and the anxiety when it comes to getting on stage and talking about your book, right? They needed somebody to be there when it came to negotiating a contract to get on stage and speak. Like they needed somebody to be there with them. And so I was like, man, this course is not getting the job done as well as I can when they have me. And so I just did away with the course. I said, forget it. They don't need it. If you still want to buy it, I'll sell it to you. But honestly, it's not the most efficient and the most effective way to get the result. The most effective and efficient way to get the result is to hire me, period. I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. I've been doing this since 2018, and I'm only getting better and better and better. How do I know? Ask my clients. My clients will tell you. Go into my Facebook group and ask any one of those people in that Facebook group, even the people who are brand new who just joined yesterday. They've been on calls with me. I've sent them videos. They know how I teach. They know how I am. I have my belt. I got two things. I got my feather and I got my belt. My feather is for people who just need a gentle reminder. My belt is for people who are procrastinators like I was. I was a procrastinator. So I know how to deal with y'all procrastinators. I know you need a belt. And I got one. So yes, this is a plug for me. Hire me to coach you because I can do it the right way. And we can get this done and you will have a lot of fun, but you will definitely become a successful author in 90 days or less with minimal stress because I don't play. I don't play. I don't waste time. And this is the reason why my book is sold out, because I bought a stack of my books back in 2021. And I said, when I sell out of these books are done. And so this morning I got up and I sold the last 3. And then I have this one and I'm like, I'm not selling this one. This is a special to my heart. This is my baby. And I'm sold out. And so you can't get that book anymore. So you have to hire me in order to get the result that my clients have gotten. And trust me, it's an investment. It's an investment in your book, in your business, in your brand, in your legacy, and in your life. I've been able to build a brand around my books, around my coaching, around my life. And my business is based on my personality and my gifts and my talents and my passion for reading and for writing and speaking and listening and helping people. This is my life. This is what I love. And so how did my books sell out? Let me give you a little bit of a backstory. My book was published on the A platform, the big platform, right? Where everybody goes to publish their book. And then I started to notice that the price of my book was being manipulated. So I was like, let me take my book down. So I took my book down off of that platform and I put it onto my own platform. And I started selling it from there. And then one day I said, I'm just curious. Let me just log into this platform and just see what's up with my other books. Because I got 8 books, right? And so I logged into that platform and I looked at the dashboard and I was like, let me run a sales report and let me find out how many sales I'm making. And let me see how this book is doing and how that book is doing. And then I have multiple platforms. So, I had a paperback and I had an ebook and I had an audiobook and I had all these different books, right? And I said, let me see. So the first thing that happened was the sales report was a little fishy. And I was like, what's happening? There's no sales reports. Like, I got zero sales. Like I have zero sales on any of my books. Like I haven't sold not one book in like the last 6 months. What? And this is crazy because this is after having conversation after conversation after conversation with people who met me on the internet. And they were saying, oh yeah, I bought that book. And I was like, where'd you get that book? Oh, from the big platform. And I said, oh, okay, so you bought the book, you have the book, and you got it, but I never got any money for it. That's a little fishy. So I started doing a little bit of research and come to find out that that has happened to many authors. If you're an author, raise your hand. If you've ever run across someone who said they bought your book, but you didn't get paid from that. You didn't get a royalty check from that. And raise your hand twice if you've heard that from multiple people. Because see, I talk to people every day and I talk to people from around the world and I talk to people all over the place and I talk to people from my social media and I talk to people who visit my website and I talk to people who I just talk to, who talk to other people and introduce me to people at events. And it's so interesting how person after person after person after person have told me, I got your book. And I'm like, what was it about? And they tell me what it was about. It's a great book. And I'm like, interesting. Note to self. What's your name? And I go check my dashboard and there's no record of the sale. And there's no record of me getting any royalties. So I'm like, what the hell is going on here? How come I'm not being paid for my work that I put online on this platform? And so what I've learned to do over the years, when I produce my own work, I put it on my own platform and I make it available only through me. And guess what? That's what all the big name people do. The big name who are making the big money, they make it available on whatever platform and they make it exclusively available through them. And so what I want to tell you authors and you writers and you people who are curious about becoming authors and writers, if you write something, protect your work. Make it available exclusively through you. This is what I'm teaching now for my clients. Past, present, previous, future. When you write something, you make sure it's available exclusively through you. Not through other platforms, but through your own. Because that is the only way you can truly protect your intellectual property, because that's what it is. Your property can be stolen. Your property can be manipulated. Your property can be changed. And your property can just disappear. That's what has happened to me. And so that's why my book is sold out. And this is the last copy. And it's not for sale. It's not for sale. Now, I probably will come out with a second edition. So if you do want that book and you do want to read How to Become an Author in 90 Days or Less with Minimal Stress by Latasha Jimerson, Coach LT. If you do want that, let me know and I'll let you pre-order it exclusively through me. And I'll send you a link that is a private link where you can purchase it from me and I'll ship it to you personally when it's done. I'll tell you now, I am working on a second edition and it is going to include the $1 million question. What do you think is the $1 million question that all of my clients come back and ask me? Okay, Coach LT, I got the book done. Now, how the hell do I sell it? So my new workbook, it will have information on how the hell do you sell your books and how do you sell out? of books? And how do you keep selling books month after month after month, year after year after year? And how do you stay relevant to your readers? Right? Because I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. I've been doing this since 2017. And I'm still relevant to my readers. I'm still relevant to my audience. And my audience is ever expanding. And my Facebook group is ever growing. And my email list is growing. And my portfolio is growing. And how do I do this? With very clear, strategic, and intentional planning. There is no more spaghetti girl. I was the spaghetti girl back in the day. Hey, Facebook, I see my Facebook people are showing up. What's up? I can't see your name, so please write your name, type your name so I can give you a shout out. I see my Facebook people are rolling deep. I love y'all. Hearts. Hearts. Love my Facebook family. My Facebook family, I'll be honest, y'all. Some of y'all, I mean, most of y'all who know me and love me from Facebook, I get along with y'all better than I do some of my family members. Author Sequoia Johnson. Hey, Queen. What's up, beautiful Queen? Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. And I love the hearts. Yes. So we're talking about how my book got sold out. If you have any questions, drop the questions and I'm going to answer them. Otherwise, I'm going to wrap this up because I did a long introduction and it was necessary because I need you to know who I am and where I stand. I need you to know how I got here because a lot of people will share with you the after pictures. You know how you do the before and the after? They'll show you the after pictures. How do you make consistent book sales? Absolutely. How do you make, let me answer that right straight up. How you make consistent book sales every month is you show up to events and you talk about your books every month. Like if you want to sell a book every day, you show up like this every day. If you want to sell a book every month, you show up like this every month. The more you show up and the more you talk about your books, the more you sell your books. Every time I'm in a room with other people speaking, I have a stack of books with me. Every time I'm traveling on the road, like I was just traveling, I had 2 layovers, one in Orlando and one in Denver. I have my book and I booked my books in my backpack. So if anybody had any questions or if I met someone who was interested or whatever, we just had a conversation. I'd be like, oh, by the way, I got one of my books with me. You want it? Here you go. Yeah, you make consistent book sales every month because you talk to people. So you show up live and you talk, right? You show up to events and you get on stage. You negotiate. I'm working on revamping some stuff so I can attend book events with my now. Absolutely. Yes. Going to events is the absolute most effective way to sell your books. And I mean, you can go to an event that only has 100 people. Hell, I've gone to events where there's only 50 people. And it's the right 50. Those people will buy everything you have. They'll buy your paperbacks. They'll buy your ebooks. They'll buy your audiobooks. I have multiple. They'll buy your bookmarks. If you got bookmarks, they'll buy your t-shirts, your hats, your pencils, whatever you have, they'll buy it. Because that's what I call super fans, people who just love your message and they love your story. That's why I always talk about myself. Because, and some people might like, why do you always talk about yourself? I don't care. I'm talking about myself because people love me. They love my books, but they love me because they know that something in my story affects something in their story. They're connecting with something about me that is so relevant. Right? I'm working on making stuff through Canva. Oh yeah. Do you know how to order the bookmarks off of Canva? I've never ordered bookmarks off of Canva. I'll be honest with you. I'm not going to shout out any brands because none of these brands are paying me. So I'm not going to notice I didn't say any names of any platforms, even the biggest global platform. I'm not going to name any platforms because they don't pay me. So when they start paying me, then I'll start talking about these places. But yeah, you and I, contact me. Just send me an email, contact@LatashaJemersonLibrary.com. And you and we'll go back and forth. But I love that question, because that question is, how do you make consistent book sales every month? You show up and you go to events and you speak on stage. And even if you don't speak on stage, you are in the audience and you are networking your ass off by making eye contact with people who are looking at you because your hair is cute. Like, so many people look at me because my hair is cute and my glasses are cute. And so we start talking about that. And then we just start talking more and more and more. We sit down, we have lunch together. And then all of a sudden we find out we went to the same college or graduate school or whatever. And then they're just like, or our kids did the same sports or whatever. And it's like, wow, we have a connection. You make a genuine connection with other people and you be a human. And so when you're a human and you make a human connection, people want to be around you more, especially if you're pleasant and you've got positive energy and a smile. They want to be around you. So what better way for people to be around you 24/7 is to have your book. I love it. I can't wait to go to an event. My career has been weighing heavy on me this year. Yeah, I mean, you could go, you can just go to your local library. This is how I started, honestly. I was a teacher and I was shy, and nobody will believe that I'm shy, but I didn't want to go outside of my four walls of teaching. Like, I was happy in my classroom. But I got pushed out because God was like, you need to think bigger. I have a bigger stage for you, girl. And so one of my buddy teachers at the time, this is when I was at a high school, when I shifted from middle school to high school, one of my buddy teachers, she asked me, she said, so-and-so's mom writes books, right? And I was like, I don't know. And she goes, I'm going to introduce you. Watch. And I was like, nah, it's okay. Da, 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 da. You know how we get all modest and stuff. I was like all modest. I was like, no, it's okay. It's okay. I just wrote the book and it's good. And she was like, no, I'm going to introduce you. So a week later, that mom came to the school and she was like, I heard you wrote a book, Miss Jemerson. Oh my gosh, that's so awesome. And I was like, yeah, thank you. Okay, hurry up and leave. I don't want anybody else to know I wrote a book. And so it was funny. She was like, you do know that every year the library has an event for authors, and I would love for you to show up. And I was like, I started immediately trying to think of excuses and reasons why I couldn't show up, like why I was so busy doing nothing at home in my pajamas on the weekends. I was trying to come up with an excuse, and I was like, well, what's the date of it? And she gave me the date. It just so happened to be in March. And she was like, oh yeah, just bring your books. And I was like, I gotta order some books. I don't have any books. Right, because I didn't know. At the time, I didn't know. She was like, yeah, just bring your books and sell your books. And I was like, I'm allowed to sell my books at the library? Really? She's like, yeah, she goes, here, I'll email you the form. Like, I mean, she just eliminated all of my freaking excuses. I had no excuse but to show up to this event with a box full of books and just sell my ass off. And so that's what I did. I showed up at the library event with a box full of books and sold my ass off. And they loved me and they asked me to come back again, and they paid me to come back and speak. And I was like, what? They paid me to speak and they allowed me to sell my freaking books. So, I mean, now I'm a paid author, I'm a paid speaker, I'm a paid coach, and I'm still a teacher mentor. And so I live my best life. I'm getting multiple streams of income. I'm super happy. And I can't be more grateful and thankful that God gave me this calling. And I'm grateful and thankful to myself for answering the call and saying, okay, God, I'm here. And not only that, But I'm thankful and grateful to myself that I keep answering the call, because I got to answer the call every day, because God is always calling me saying, here's what you need to do next. Here's where you need to go next. And here's who you need to call right now. And here's who you need to follow up with. And this is the Zoom meeting that you need to be on. And those are the people that you need to be speaking to. And I'm like, yikes. I don't even have a plan anymore. I don't have an agenda, because God laughs at me and says, your agenda is too small. Your dream and your vision ain't got nothing to do with my vision for you. And so if you're out there right now and you have a book and you haven't been getting on stages like you want to, you need to email me, because I can help you do that. If you haven't been getting booked and busy, you need to contact me. If you haven't been making consistent, steady sales, you need to contact me, because I can support you with that. If you are still out here like selling one book at a time, you need to contact me, because in my community, in my tribe, what I teach my people to do is to get on the phone with the decision makers who are buying books by the hundreds, by the thousands. Get on the phone with people who have organizations who need your message, because they will pay you to speak, and they will pay your invoice for those books. So that's all I got to say for y'all. If you want to know more information about how my book just sold out today, call me. You know where I live. I'm on Facebook all day long, 24/7. Facebook pays me. Instagram pays me too, because I'm always on their platforms, and I'm bringing hundreds and hundreds of people onto those platforms every single day with the hearts, getting the love. And so I'm blessed. I'm grateful. I'm very thankful. And I thank you so much for sitting here and listening to me talk for 51 minutes. Thank you. If there's no other questions, I'm going to be closing out. If there are questions, I will stay here until the questions are answered and the answers have been given. I can't wait to hear from you, Sequoia, author Sequoia. I can't wait to hear from you. I love what you're doing. I see you. I hear you, Queen. I see you. I hear you. I feel you. And your energy is amazing, and your light is shining bright. And I want you to continue doing what you got to do to make sure that your message is out into the world, because it's time. It's time. It's time, y'all. It's time. If people keep telling you you need to write a book, and you keep feeling in your heart and soul you need to write a book, it's time for you to write a book. You don't need no more confirmation. You don't need no more confirmation. This is it. I love you. Have a beautiful afternoon. I can't wait to see you in my email. Okay. Contact at LatashaJemersonLibrary.com. Have a good night.